So this is the video I didn't want to make, plain and simple. This is talking about the fact that my creative freedom has been taken from me, and many others. So I've been sitting on this for a while. Anyone that follows me on Twitter, @SoundOut12, I've been tweeting a lot about the FTC, YouTube, and COPPA. These three key terms are all going to come up in this video so much you can make a drinking game out of it. So let's get into it. To recap, just a general recap of what's happening is that YouTube and Google collected data on minors, those being under 13 years of age, even though you shouldn't have a YouTube account if you're only 13 and up. And they did that for years, and then they got warned in 2013 that that's a bad thing, don't do that anymore. But then they persisted, and they got fined several $1 million earlier in 2019. So come November 2019, YouTube content creators are now under fire. And what happened is that the FTC, whether of their own doing or being pushed by child advocacy groups, because that was a thing that was said, either or of that, something has taken the FTC from saying, oh yeah, we find YouTube and Google, that's enough, and then point their sights right at content creators. And anyone out there that says they're not going after content creators directly and they're just going to find YouTube instead, you need to see the conference video. And what I mean by the conference video is on the FTC's website, which I will link in the description. There is a 47-minute video where one of the FTC officials, who is the communication piece of the FTC, has literally stated in plain English, we are going after content creators. And in fact, used the analogy that it's like shooting fish in a barrel, where the barrel is YouTube and the fish are content creators. So essentially, Federal Trade Commission of the United States government has called YouTubers fish, and they're ready to shoot us. Where does that go from here? So, YouTube decided to be helpful. Very slightly helpful, but I gotta give them credit for this. They weren't required to do this. They could have just literally taken us outside back and let the FTC shoot us in the back and we wouldn't know what was happening. But instead, YouTube has given us some guidelines. And by I mean guidelines, it's not a really good system, but essentially on November 12th, which was about a week ago, same day Disney Plus launched, clever to hide it in the news buzz, there was a new audience system that came out. And this is when people got the first heads up about what was happening, and it also gave people false confidence, because YouTube's like, oh hey, so we have to introduce this new system to be compliant with COPPA, the Child Online Privacy Protection Act. Here's your new system. You can mark your videos as made for kids or not made for kids. Seems pretty straightforward, right? For example, for me, I have all ages content. Stuff that anyone can watch, regardless of age. And the thing is that the subject matter of my videos is mostly toys. Sometimes I'll stray off a little bit, but it's mostly toys, whether it's toy history or toy reviews, mostly toy reviews. For 10 years now, that's what I've been doing. Now, the thing to say is that while my content can be viewed by kids, it can be viewed by a family audience because I like to keep it that way, it's toys, it's light, fun stuff. Not every toy is made for a kid. And all toys aren't just directed at children. For example, hi, I'm 24 years old and still collect action figures because there are action figures available that appeal to a collector's market. For example, current Transformer status. This is a $20 Transformer. Most parents won't buy a $20 Transformer for their kids, but most collectors will want the additional detail, complexity, the articulation. That all stuff appeals to collectors. So reviewing that from a collector standpoint, I aim my videos at other collectors, which are not children. And that is a fact, is that kids can watch my videos fine, but I do not make a video on a Soul Chogokin Voltron that's like $300 to try to attract kids to my channel. I do that so I can inform adult collectors who are looking to possibly spend the money on one of those to make sure that they know what they're getting. I never tell people that they need to buy something. I always recommend things. But the FTC's guidelines are incredibly vague and incredibly broad-reaching to the point where it can basically snag anyone. So back to YouTube system. I haven't marked any of my videos personally yet. YouTube auto-marked about 70% of my videos as made for kids. Now, the made for kids label on YouTube means that you get no comments, your subscribers don't get notifications, the video cannot be found in searches, the video cannot be found in recommendations, and on top of that, the video loses pretty much all revenue. It says 90% of revenue, but when you're only making like pennies on a video, that's basically nothing. So on that point, your video, if it's marked for kids, just vanishes because no one can find it without a link. So then you have to have a very strong social media presence, which luckily I do have a strong following on Twitter, and I really do appreciate everyone following me there because I've been able to get more of my videos. I've looked at my analytics. There are two things that cause the most traffic to my videos: Twitter links and recommendations. So not having recommendations, not having searches, that pretty much kills the chance of my video being seen. And at the end of the day, I don't make money off of this. I probably lose money because I'll buy stuff to review, like the Beast Morphers, Power Rangers Beast Morphers basic action figures. I bought those to make videos on them to inform collectors. But I kind of don't really necessarily need them in my collection. They don't really fit anywhere right now. So I kind of did that, but then, you know, I don't make that money back. Toy reviewing is essentially a giant cycle of buying things to make videos, but not really making any money back because you have to keep buying things to make videos. I can't just vlog stuff. Toy reviews are kind of where it's been. So on that point, I'm not worried about the monetization. I am depressed that I'll lose comments because comments are what keep me going. If any time I have like little gaps in uploads because I'm not feeling it, my creative side is just not in tune, and then someone will leave a comment saying, "Oh, I love this video, great work," or ask a question, I can inform them on something. That's the stuff I like, and that going away is awful. So what's the alternative? Okay, so made for kids, obviously your video's gonna make no money, it's gonna be not visible, no comments, kind of a bad deal. But you think to yourself, made for kids. I don't make these for kids, so I can mark not made for kids and I'll be fine because, you know, it's not made for kids, and then I can keep my notifications and my visibility as well as my comments. Except there's one problem with that, and that's the FTC. YouTube system, you can mark it as not for kids. I can mark, you know, Voltron as not for kids, and the FTC can come along and be like, "Oh, hey, what's this Voltron video? Bright colors, music, oh no! It must be for kids, but they marked it as not for kids. We must fine this creator $42,530. And I don't exaggerate that number because that is an exact number that was given by the FTC. And it said up to, but typically when fines are given out by the federal government, at least in the US, they're always up to. Like, they will fine you as much as they can. So to that point, $42,530 per video times 900 videos I have is $38 million. There's absolutely no way I'm ever paying one of these fines, let alone any more than that. So what do? Do I send my videos off into the internet where they can't be seen anymore? Or do I keep them available for everyone to watch and get fined thousands and thousands of dollars if the FTC finds it? Which right now the FTC, again going back to the shooting fish in a barrel metaphor they gave out themselves, they're hand combing. The other part of this, that is the part that's got me most concerned, is that YouTube will use algorithms to determine things. Their algorithm determined what is the first sweep of made for kids content. The FTC is going to use actual human beings. And actual human beings are not going to get to watch a video. That Voltron video is 40 minutes long. I do not expect an FTC official to look through that long. They're going to hit play, they're going to see my animated opening, be like, oh, it's a cartoon, and they're going to see like a brightly colored lion robot, and they're like, it's a toy, and then that's it. I'm going to get fined. Like, that's pretty much what it's going to be, because they're not going to spend the whole time to look through your video to check for harsh language or anything like that. They're going to see that you marked it not for kids, and then they're like, oh, but it has these very vague things that we don't understand because we're all people over 50 working at this office and we don't know what computers are. That's essentially what it is. I've checked into this. There are people in the FTC, the people running it are all people that are of an older generation who probably don't understand how the internet works. And that is terrifying, because then they'll see anything as for kids. Because in the FTC's COPPA guidelines, it's not just the made for kids, not made for kids lingo. It is child directed or child attractive. Child attractive is everything. Absolutely anything on YouTube can fall under child attractive, because children are curious by the nature of them being young and not knowing anything. Unless you're giving them politics, maybe history, and paint drying on the wall, they're going to be attracted to the video, regardless of what it's about. You make a video about Mortal Kombat, they're going to see the blood and be like, that looks cool, and then go see the video. So what is the FTC essentially going to do? January 1st, they start sweeping YouTube to try to find videos that they find not COPPA compliant, and then fining people for their videos not being COPPA compliant. So that's terrible, because essentially, if anyone that's seen Star Wars, this is the Jedi Purge. The FTC is basically going to send out, is like Palpatine sending out Order 66 on YouTubers. They're going to find us all and fine us a bunch of money, because they know that at $42,530 per video, no one's going to pay that. No one can pay that works on YouTube. Like, it's a lot of money. Like, even if they gave me the most amount of fine on all my videos, $38 million, I'm never going to have that kind of money in my life. Which means I get to go to jail. I could probably fight it in court. I might be able to get out of it with a really good lawyer, but right now I don't have the money to afford a good lawyer, because I'm barely scraping by to get this YouTube channel made. So, what do I have to do? Here's the thing. I like to prepare for the worst and expect the best. Right now, there is hope. Hope comes 13 minutes into this video. This is where this is all the stuff I've laid out is the basics of this. There is a lot more complicated legal lingo, and I am not a lawyer. I do not give legal advice for this reason, because I have not studied this stuff. However, there's a content creator by the name of Ian Corzin, who is a lawyer, specifically with social media. He has a YouTube channel, and he just put out a video going over why this is scary and why this is really damaging to creators. I implore you to go check his video out. Also, in the links below, right below his, I'm going to post 3 videos from 3 YouTubers that I trust and respect and have provided great videos that have great overviews and details about things. They all have different things that the others don't. We have Marking Not for Kids Doesn't Protect You, COPPA Update from Chad Tronick. That's the video that's been spreading around big. He's a huge audience. I'm so glad he's talking about this. The Future of This Channel, YouTube and COPPA by Pixel Dan, fellow toy reviewer. He's worried about his content. He's got a lot going on right now, and he's trying to figure out what's going to be marked as for kids and not for kids. And then FTC versus YouTubers Round 2, Fight by Retroblasting. Retroblasting does include a form letter in the description of his video that you can put into the FTC website. Speaking of, on regulations.gov, there is an open comment until December 9th, 2019. December 9th, 2019, the FTC has taken open comment on the issue. Anyone and everyone that watches these videos that enjoys what I do or what any YouTuber does, please comment on the FTC's website. I'm linking it down below. It's going to be the first link in the description. It's the first that you're not going to see anything else in that description but the regulations.gov link. This is important because you can voice your opinion to the FTC and say, this is damaging to creators, this is harmful to them, this is restricting their creative freedom, this is unethical, and we don't believe as a people that this is right. Because at this point, the FTC is not in a, like, again, not legal advice, but I can't find a way where this is totally illegal, but it's not totally legal either. They're essentially headhunting content creators for something they didn't do wrong. We're not the ones collecting data on minors. That is YouTube. But the FTC does not care. They are coming after us. So in order for us to not get fined and sent to jail, we need you to comment on the regulations.gov website. Please. And if you need some form to fill out, if you want to not type anything unique, go to Retro Blasting's video, check out the description. He's got something there pre-written. You can just fill in a couple bits of info. Because this, essentially, if this goes through on January 1st, you're going to see pretty much almost every toy reviewer gone, except for a few. And those that are still there might get fined and you'll never see them again. This is scary, and it's not getting discussed. The other thing, before we move on to that, there's a change.org petition. Usually these are, change.org petitions are usually wild, crazy, don't get anything done because they're always aimed at Hollywood. Hollywood does not care about the people's individual voice. They just care about making money, and they know business practices to do that. Change.org petitions towards the federal government of the United States, that gets a lot more attention. So please also sign the Change.org petition. It'll be right below the regulations.gov. I think the regulations.gov is the direct line of the FTC. The one below it, Change.org, that'll get some more attention. So on that point, going forward, I have to protect myself. For as much as I've built up a legacy here on YouTube of 10 years of content and providing entertainment to everyone out there, I can't handle the fines. And while I can be optimistic and say, oh, they won't fine me, I'm not big enough, or the courts will be tied up for it, I can't do that. Because having seen the cold, emotionless intention of the FTC in that video they posted, I take them absolutely seriously. Like, it may take years to do this, but apparently they're going to be watching YouTube for about 10 years. And they're going to throw out fines wherever they see fit. And for me, I can't do that. If I sell my entire collection, I'll never even pay one fine, let alone up to 900. And it's so broad. It's so broad. That's something you can leave in your comment to the FTC, is that the terms aren't broad, are too broad, and we have too little time to adjust. That is another important factor here. This is happening January 1st. The comments close in like 2 weeks. This is coming up fast. And so, in that regard, what am I going to do? I'm going to move somewhere else. And I can't give you the full details now because I don't have it all sorted out yet. But I'm working with people to give ourselves a space to be the creative individuals we want to be. Because YouTube is not that space anymore. With copyright claim stuff, I stuck through it because I get it. YouTube doesn't want to get in legal trouble with copyright holders. Of course. Their interpretation of fair use and copyright stuff was really off, and it restricted a lot of what you could do. But not to this point, because with the FTC coming down hard, I don't know what to make anymore. And that's the problem. Here on this platform, the reason why I did YouTube, the reason why I started this was because I was going to make the videos I wanted to make, and I wanted to make them for people to enjoy. So if they're marked made for kids, and no one can see them, there's no point in me being here anymore. They're marked not made for kids, and I get fined, no point in being here anymore. In fact, this I can't confirm because no one else has talked about this, but as I've been thinking over it, FTC is like, if you mark it not for kids and we decide it's for kids, you're going to get fined. What if we mark it as for kids and they decide it's not for kids? Do we also get fined? I'm pretty sure it's going to happen at this point. I don't think it's going one direction only. Because, the FTC, YouTube, have said the audience setting system is only YouTube's preventative measure to help guide the FTC, but has no legal standing on actually protecting you. So if you're a content creator out there, take precautions. research all this, look into this, find out how it's going to affect you, and take the steps necessary. For me, right now, if this ruling does not get overturned, if the public comments and the petitions do nothing, and this goes into effect January 1st, this channel's going private December 30th. The only way I can keep myself completely safe from the FTC is to make the videos not viewable at all. Which is awful, because I want people to enjoy my videos. I would love it if I could just mark everything as made for kids, not made for kids, and that would be the end of it. Not this, oh yeah, you can mark it, but if the FTC disagrees, they're going to fine you thousands of dollars. That is crap. That just sucks. There's no win. There is no win in that situation. And on that point, I'm going to try to find a new place, a new home for these videos. So I need you to follow me on social media, because that's exactly where I'm going to be. Twitter, @SendOut12. You can also find me on Instagram and Facebook. I don't post there very much because I didn't get like a huge influx when I started those. But I'll post there for further details. And I'll probably post another video on this channel sometime in December when we find out if this is all going into effect. Because this could all get overturned. The outcry could be big enough to get overturned. But right now we're not getting any mass media attention. Everything's tied up with impeachment hearings in the U.S., and it's a big deal. That's going to take up a lot of the mass media time. Some other websites have been reporting on it, which has been wonderful. The biggest thing right now is awareness. And the biggest thing is to not be arrogant. There are too many people trusting YouTube's algorithm system. When before, everyone was like, the algorithm's bad, we can't trust it. And now you want to trust it? When $42,530 per video is on the line? I'm not trusting it. I don't trust the FTC. I don't believe either YouTube or the FTC have our best interests in mind, and I don't believe that they've thought this through. I absolutely think that YouTube and the FTC have not thought about how damaging to the platform this will be, and YouTube's just letting it happen, essentially, and that's terrible. So, on that note, thank you everyone for watching this video. Thank you everyone for watching over time. Like I said, before things go dark, I'll make another video. I hopefully by that point will have my backup plan in place. It's an idea. I just got to figure out if I can pull it off. But here on YouTube, creative freedom's gone. You know, where I could used to make a video about whatever I wanted to, regardless of what the views were, I didn't care that much. I can't anymore, because if I make the wrong type of video, I could get fined life-damaging money and possibly go to jail. It's a lot of ifs, but it's a lot of things where I'm seeing the intention from the people in charge, and I can't risk it anymore. So the last thing I'll leave you with is, please comment on the FTC's website as many times as you want. You can comment anonymously. You don't even have to put your name down. Sign the change.org petition. Do more research. Tweet about it. Talk about it. If there are YouTubers you know that haven't made a video about this, that's specifically toy reviewers, animation people, comic books, video games, and other things using children's properties, including arts and crafts and artwork, are all under this. And eventually it'll spread. I'm really concerned about the Disneyland vloggers, because I really enjoy Disneyland vlogs, but they haven't said anything about it. So tweet at your people, comment on the people you love to follow, because if they haven't talked about this, they got a little bit of time before this all goes into effect, and they need to know this is serious, and this is going to be so damaging to everyone. So on that sour note, that's what this is, sour note, just go out there, fight for your right to have toy content on YouTube, for creative content on YouTube. Fight for it, because all we can do is fight for the next 2.5 weeks until they close the comments, and then we wait for their decision. And if their decision is to purge everyone and just start hunting us down to fine us, then that's going to be the end of the platform. And that's sad.